It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. Hi, boys and girls. I'm today's guest reader. That's right. I'm going to read you a story. It's a story called Boston Accent. That's right. First, I have to put on my comfy clothes. You need to get comfy clothes. This is my boots. We've been outside and we hope that there's no poop on the boot. We don't like that, because poop is yucky. So let's get the boots off. That's better. It's better we take off the boots. And then we have the comfy slippers. We're going to put the comfy slippers on. Here's the left one. Oh. And here's the right one. Oh, those slippers are comfy, aren't they? Slippers are comfy. Oh, that's much better. And here we have a little smoking jacket. We don't smoke because smoking's bad for you. But we would like to wear the smoking jacket. Hugh Hefner has a smoking jacket, and he's surrounded by naked women. Don't have any of those today, but I've got my smoking jacket and my comfy slippers, and we're going to read this story. I am the guest reader today. All right. I think we're ready. All right, let's see. Let's see what we're going to read today. I can't see. You see, when you get to be old, sometimes you need glasses. Woo! That's much better. All right, let's see what we're going to read today. We're reading Boston Accent. And you know what? We're not going to read it in his voice. So we're going to leave that other personality aside. Alright, enough of that. That was fun. But now it's time for serious stuff. Because this is serious. We're reading Boston Accent. Mark Mattioli. Boston Accent's available on Amazon.com. Alright. Enough screwing around. One night before Brett broke his leg, he and I are at the club Nightmares in Sedgwick until closing. We are the last customers in the place, and the bartenders are restocking the bar and cleaning up while the manager is counting the cash drawer and checking the receipts. A side door is open that is for employees only, and it has a dumpster parked near it. One of the bartenders is stacking trays of glasses on a table near the open door, and Brett, without saying a word, walks over to the table, grabs a tray of glasses, and walks out the door. What Brett doesn't know is that there's no step there, and when he steps out with the tray, he nearly falls on his face with a tray of glasses. He managed to stay on his feet, but all the glasses smash on the ground. I look to see the staff react, but no one looks up. They're also focused on the duties, and the sound system is so loud that they don't hear shit. I walk over to the table, grab a tray, and walk out the door, being careful to step easy with the drop-off. I still lose a couple of glasses, but the majority survive as I head to Brett's car and place the tray in the trunk. We decide to head to Sean's house to see if he is up. He has an apartment in a loft over his parents' garage and often stays up late. On the way there, we pass the entrance to a construction company where two giant pillars stand that are actually concrete sewer connections. On top of one of them is a giant frog made of cement. The frog is well known to the locals who pass by here every day, and is commonly used as a landmark for directions. As you pass it, Brad suddenly hits the brakes and starts backing up until he is backed up to the pillar with the frog. I look at him and say, "What are you doing?" And he looks at me and in an exaggerated voice says, "Do you hear the frog?" He was imitating that kid's game where you spin the dial on different pictures of animals and then pull the string. I'm like, "Oh no, you must be kidding." Not only did this frog weigh close to 300 pounds, it was 6 feet up in the air on this column. Brett opens his car trunk, which has no light, and we lower the frog down. When it's centered over the trunk, we drop it right on top of all the glasses. With the crunching of the glass, Brett tries to close his trunk, and it wasn't going to happen. The frog was too tall. We jump in the car and continue on to Sean's, who is still up sitting by the pool. We tell him we have a present for him and ask him to grab a flashlight and follow us. As Sean shines the flashlight on the frog, Brett says, "Where do you want it, by the pool?" Sean says, "No fucking way you're leaving that here. My parents will know where it came from as soon as they see it." Sean's dad was a cop and tended to disapprove of such activities. We decided to take it to Brett's house since his house is closer. We just hold our breath that no cop will pull up behind us on the way. We make it to Brett's house, no problem. He decides to drive the car over the lawn into the backyard so we can just lift the frog up and drop it into the garden. Great idea, except that it had been raining all week. The yard was soft, and the weight of the frog was bogging down the ass end of Brett's car. By the time we get the car around back, Brett has dug up the lawn, leaving deep, ugly ruts. We get the frog out, drop it in the garden, and Brett cuts the hell out of one of his hands on the broken glass. Brett heads inside to tend to his wounds, and I jump in my car and leave before his dad sees the ruts in the lawn. The next day, when Brad's dad sees the lawn, he calls him outside to explain what would compel him to do something so idiotic. His very next question was I involved? Brett says yes, and earns me more negative points with his dad. The next time his dad saw me, he said, "Thanks for the frog," but I got the impression he didn't mean it. One night, Kevin and I were on our way back to Pineyville from Sean's. We were right down the street from where Brett and I had taken the frog. As we round the corner, we see a car has crashed into a utility pole with a transformer on it. There are 3 kids sitting on the trunk of the car, 1 guy and 2 girls, like nothing is wrong. Kevin and I pass them on the opposite side of the road and give ourselves a little distance from them. We get out and ask if they're okay, and the guy says something smart-ass like, "What the fuck does it look like?" Just then, Kevin and I notice that the transformer is sparking. We look at each other and at the same time say, "It's gonna blow." We both yell to the 3 kids, "Get away from the car! The transformer's gonna blow!" The 3 kids slowly get off the car, turn to look up at the pole when there's a huge flash that turns the entire road from night to day. The flash of light is followed by an explosion as the transformer is blown right off the pole, with sparks and pieces on fire raining down on the car, the street, and the 3 kids that are running like hell. Kevin and I look at each other at the same time and say, "Wow, that was awesome." We jump right back in the car and drive away, leaving the 3 kids staring at the pole. My only regret is we didn't have a roll of toilet paper to toss out the window, because I'd be willing to bet the smartass shit his pants. There was an oceanfront club in Marlin called the Ramrod Dance Hall that had really been something in its heyday during the 40s, but now was a rundown dive that featured some of the best live music on the South Shore. One night I was there with a bunch of friends, and someone suggested we enter the club through the cellar to avoid paying the cover charge. Apparently they had done it before, so we headed to the basement door instead of going in the main entrance. As soon as the first person swings the door open and steps into the dock, a light goes on and 2 cops appeared. I guess they were tipped off to the free admission route. They began barking orders at us all to line up in front of the building. There are 10 of us, and I was at the back, so I duck around the corner and head towards the back of the building and the seawall. I stop in the seawall to light a cigarette when I hear a voice behind me say, "Are you deaf?" I turn to face the cop and he screams at me. "I asked you a fucking question." The cop gets right up in my face, close enough for me to see his eyes, and this guy is a legitimate lunatic. I mean, he isn't just pissed off, there is something wrong with him. I stare at him without saying a word, watching his shoulders, believing he's going to take a swing at me, knocking me off the seawall into the surf below. He screams at me again, "Move!" I step down off the seawall onto the lawn behind the club and start walking the long way back to the front of the building, not the way I'd come. That's when I feel him strike me. I jump and spin around to face him. He's holding his billy club, glaring at me. He had hit me in the neck at the base of my skull, and as a reflex, I reached up and put my hand there. I looked around, and we were alone. No witnesses, and I said through clenched teeth, "Motherfucker!" He steps toward me and swings the club at my face as I backpedal away from him. "You fucking cunt!" I scream at him as I continue to make my way towards the front of the building, not fully turning my back on him, but being careful not to trip. If I fall, I'm fucked. He swings at me again, and now I can hear the voices of people entering the club. We were almost to the front of the building where there will be light, witnesses, and hopefully my friends. As we emerge from the dark, I spot my friends standing by their cars. I slowed my face, faced the cop, and said, "Put the club down and let's go, you fucking pussy." The cop put his club away, and the other cop walked over to join him. "Problem?" the other cop says, and Psycho Cop says, "Just a punk." My friends start yelling at me, "Come on, we're leaving," and I turn and walk towards the cars. As I get to the car, someone says, "What happened?" And I say, "The fucking cop hit me with his club." Everyone turns to stare at the cop who heard me and is staring back. I then yell, "Cocksucker!" and I reach down, pick up a rock, and take a step in the direction of the cop. The cop sees me, pulls his service revolver, and holds it up for me to see, as he says, "Try out running a .38. My friends grab me and hustle me into the back seat with someone on either side of me so I can't get out. At the same time, the other cop tells Psycho Cop to holster his weapon. As we're driving away, Brett, always the comedian, says, "So where else can we sneak in?" Okay, this next segment is another biggie, so we're going to end this right here. And tomorrow's Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. I usually don't do a reading on Sunday, so I'll probably try to do this on Monday. I'm still working on getting some guest readers. I can't always depend on all my multiple personalities to help out, so once again, I'm encouraging people that have read the book, and they've given me some great feedback. A lot of kind words have been thrown my way, and I appreciate that. And once again, I encourage people to record one of these readings, pick a favorite, read it, and post it. That would be great. It would tickle my fancy. All right. Oh, another personality just crept in. Could be a segment for the next book. All right, then. I'm Mark Mattioli. We're reading Boston Accent. It's available on Amazon.com, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.